Yo, what is going on, everybody? Man, look at the time. Look at how it's going. Look at what is going on in the market. It's amazing, right? It's fun. And it's about to get a little more funner. Y'all, we expect to see a lot of volatility in September. And I kind of wanted to bring that up, talk about Bitcoin and seasonality, talk about what's going on, what's updated that's happening in crypto, because I don't see a lot of news going on. I don't know if it's me. Dazzle, have you seen a lot of articles in the crypto space? It's like people getting quiet.
Yeah, people get real quiet right now. I've been seeing a lot. It's kind of ghost town going on.
Yeah, so I don't understand why. I would, this is 2021. Everyone will be screaming good graces. Look at Bitcoin on a seasonality chart. Right now, we in this what that like teal color where they say buy. We're gonna look at a real chart in a second, and I understand it looks bearish, and then I understand that based off of seasonality, people are just afraid of the market during this time, and maybe y'all want to wait till we get to the fire sale and that Bitcoin is dead. So I don't know what your strategy is, but just know we still at a good area with crypto, and yes, I would expect to see some more downside. That's what kind of plans do you have with your crypto going into reg timber? I mean, you've seen September many a times, but is there anything different you do for September?
A wee! It's like accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. But that's really like what because I find it to be like more so a time where I'm gonna get some greater deals. Um, I see like heavier drops when the wax and crescents coming up. So it's really a accumulation time going into October.
Man, I like the way you think. And a lot of people don't like to accumulate during this time. They wait for us to break back above, towards the middle of October, November, you start seeing these prices in there. But oh, let me get some Bitcoin. And that's when we see the big move. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, what about the people that's gonna miss that on that this here and the pullback and the drop down because they're looking for the perfect entry. Just continue to DCA. Yes, I think there's gonna be a decent dip, but I think we should buy it up. September, Rectember, it only lasts for so long. It don't hurt that long if y'all buying spot positions. What's hurting most people is they out here buying these leverage positions and they're getting wrecked and they're losing a lot of money because that's how you actually lose is when you're leveraging. If you're buying a spot position, you don't lose money. The value may go down for a while, but you don't lose it. You know what I mean? Unless you're borrowing against it or something like that. But just holding on to Bitcoin or whatever your favorite asset is and dealing with that 30 to possible 50% drawdown we can get in September, it's all good. It comes back and then we kind of push up even higher. Now, some of the things
Say play with the dollar cost average calculators. Go online, find your good dollar cost average calculator, and track it. A lot of time, I think what gets us discouraged is we're looking on the short term versus the long term. And when you put it into projecting of just even traditional investments, you're not even looking to turn a profit for the next 5 to 7 years in traditional investing. And so when you have the opportunity to see it in a fraction of the time, uh, it can make you be blindsided to the long game and the long vision of it. But 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, between 5 and 7 years ago, yes, what I say yesterday's price ain't today's price.
hmm, perfect example. And we would find reasons to remain bullish, even if we see these little drawdowns. Like one big thing here, the Trump family has a Bitcoin mining company that started trading on Nasdaq. You know what I'm saying? That's big. Y'all think that like this is going somewhere now? Y'all think this is really for the dip down to what people be saying, 80,000 and 70,000? Like, really? We're gonna see some lower prices with Bitcoin, but with the way we seeing the innovation in this market, I think it's easy to understand we're gonna see more upside. But looking at the market right now, Dazzler and I, we like to trade using moon cycles. She was just talking about with the different types of moons and how it's been affecting the market lately. So she's been kind of sitting sideline and shorting the market. She normally does during new moon. Now, coming toward the end of new moon, this is what I want to point. The reason why we even doing this class today is that the moves can start happening 3 times, 3 days before or 3 days prior. Let me just give you an example. Like this, our last full moon right here was on the 8th. And if you go back 3 days prior to the 8th, 1, 2, 3, even though that day was kind of red, it probably looked bad that day. This was the end result. It did pretty good. Going to the other side. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Let's go back to our last full moon before that one. Let's see if we started, the full moon was on the 10th. If we looked at the 7th to buy, 9, 8, 7. You see how that 7 was a red day? Kind of like today. You know what I mean? But then following that, what do we see? A lot of good moves until we got to new moon and we had that drop. Let's do one more. Let's just one more real quick. Then let's just make sure it still worked. Test it 3 times, right? So we had it full moon right here on the 10th of June. So we want to go back to the 7th. Boom, 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 right there. And we see that that was a good time to buy, right? By the time we took profit, if you bought here on the 7th at 103, by the time you took profit close to new moon, you're still around 108. There was profit to be taken. And this is just a simple strategy that in TWC we've been sharing over the years. And I think, some people kind of sleep on it, especially those that are getting wrecked because they're day trading with high leverage. They think, well, I can't hold a trade that long. That's because, it's moving up and down. But those is taking spot positions, a good, safe way to trade that's low risk is buying full moons and selling new moons. And when do we like to buy full moons? I just showed you a couple of times. We're buying it 3 days prior to the new moon and holding it, going into the full moon actually worked in your favor. Let's do one more. Let's do one more just for the fun of it. This was on the 12th right here. We go back the 11th, the 10th, the 9th. We start buying there and we see how it moved up going into new moon. So that's how long has that been working for you? You use this strategy, right?
I've been using this strategy all this year. So since the end of last year, it's been working. I've been clocking it. It's being tried, tested, and true. So since about November of 24, I started tracking it, and it's been working for me.
Buying the full moon, taking profit on new moon, buying the full moon, taking profit on new moon, buying the full moon, taking profit on new moon. Like she's seen some bad days. Don't get it wrong. But at the end of the day, look at where we are, right?
Well, they say millionaires trade with the charts, billionaires trade with the stars. I'm going for them B's. You can keep the M's.
And stop getting all chopped out of the market, guys. Because you see articles like this and we get afraid. We think that, oh, well, let me save my money, let me not invest, let me not put anything in the market because we have these seasonal red flags, right? People are quiet. What was the article I wanted to show you? It was 1 second. Hedge funds and stock markets. And we seeing that even the stock market reaching all-time highs, it's still coming to a slowdown period because of people preparing for Rectember. You know, it's crazy. But Rectember leads to October. So we're still looking, I think we're still good in the market, guys. But based off of people and seasonality and fear, you have seasonal red flags right now. And what's happening in the stock market is going to happen in multiple markets. You're going to see this in your futures market. You're going to see this affect your crypto market, right? It's not just going to affect stocks. Investments are going to slow down. Profits will be taken. News will affect the market. And I expect to see whipsaw over the next couple of weeks. I think we're going to still see some upside, which is why I'm going to hold all the way going into new moon. But I think we're going to see a lot of whipsaw. So for day traders, I think those are the ones that really coined the phrase wreck temper, right? Because they're going to get in and out and probably take losses a lot of times in the day. But if you can hold on to your trade a little longer, I believe you're going to see a lot of great things. So, you know what? We don't want to end this on a bad note. I like to end things great. So something else that can excite us, something that we can look forward to in the crypto market. Ms. Dazzle actually wanted me to bring this up, so I'm gonna let her talk about it a little bit. Dazzle, what do you think about them tokenizing Pokemon cards?
I think this is so cool because like I have like a little picking hobby or whatever, and I found that a lot of collectors and people who deal in collectibles make some decent money with Pokemon cards. So the fact that now they're being tokenized, I'm definitely going down that rabbit hole because I don't see it not making some money.
Now, I gotta ask because I know you deal with NFTs a lot. So I'm curious. I'm kind of afraid dealing with them. I want to, right? Especially because my son, like, I got kids. I think it'd be cool to collect with your kids. But will they hold their value? We seen this happen with what's that basketball card that was out? They came out, they did great, and then what happened to them? Like the Vivos and all of that stuff. You think this could be
Yeah.
another one of those, or what's different?
Well, I think it's definitely the branding, the community build around it. That's something that you gotta look for. And Pokemon has like they have like Raider fans, that's their community. They're like, and that's a whole different culture. Like, and that's what I think you have to look at as far as with any project is community interest, is community support. Projects with strong communities end up lasting compared to ones that are just out there on trend.
Mm. Well, they seem to be making a nice recovery right now. While they're talking about the project conducted a pre-sale for its cards token on Solana using the protocol Metaplex, and its market cap jumped to a peak of 85 million on Wednesday from 23 just the day before. According to crypto data provider on CoinGecko, cards market cap recently stood at 74 million. So they getting the volume now. Another good tokenized project is that Sui Land, right? I'm not gonna bring it up right now, but that was another. I'm seeing NFTs come back. That's why I'm saying that. And I know you got some Sui Land too. So like, how do you feel with NFTs? Because me and you both have what we call a graveyard of NFTs, right? That we're probably not gonna get profit from. And that left such a bad taste in so many mouths that they don't want anything to do with NFTs again. But is it possible that the type of NFTs coming out now are going to be better and last longer?
I do. I think it's all about utility, for sure, as far as the projects. Even let's say a project is short term, you maximize it while it's there. Today's opportunity is not tomorrow's opportunity. But ideally, in my opinion, NFTs that have the opportunity to generate passive income that aren't just look pretty, that have a good community base behind them. Uh, I would, lean toward more towards than not. The ones that actually earn like there's fractional real estate NFTs now. So like I said, the utility is really what it's gonna be as far as its longevity and its overall community interest. If it's something that's already a trusted brand and they're just migrating onto the blockchain, to me that increases the odds a little better than something that's just fresh new, something that's already a collectible or that has a really good utility.
Hmm. Appreciate that outlook. And now you got me really thinking about getting some Pokemon cards. I already need to add to my Solana collection anyway, and they're calling these real world assets. I think it's just a matter of time for we find a DApp where we can even borrow against these things, seeing that they have actual value. So I'm just thinking down the line, y'all don't quote me on that. Don't be like, didn't it say we're gonna be able to borrow? I ain't say that. I'm just thinking I see where this could be going. And I would love that opportunity to see if I can collect some Pokemon cards that are actually worth so much and not have to even sell them, using them as a store of value. I think that would be amazing. So I'm willing to scoop up a couple of cards and see how that all will work out. I mean, we also looking at with that DeLorean on Sui. You got to get a ticket just to be able to get the car. That's another real world asset that you get to own the car. You got to have a ticket to be able to buy the car. We don't know the price of the car yet, but I mean, looking at NFTs as a whole, I think they're doing a nice comeback, and it's time for us to start positioning to see how those things work out. So, hey, we appreciate all y'all for tuning in. One, just bring some news to y'all, some upward information on the cryptocurrency market. Don't get all down and out. Rick Timber seems to get a lot of people depressed and sad in this space, but October usually brings you back. So, hey, we just want to be here through it all, right? We're gonna walk y'all all the way through Rick Timber and October and going all the way into the spring of next year. We're not going anywhere. We want to share more information and keep people up to date of what's going on in the crypto market. Daz, you got anything to share with the people before we go?
Blessings, good fortune, and may the profits forever be in your favor.
Thank you, Daz. Peace, y'all. How do I stop my share?